Today we will review the most famous Chinese watch of all time, the Sea-Gull 1963. But this is no ordinary 1963, this is a watch officially manufactured by the Tianjin Watch Factory, the same that made the original model for the Chinese Air Force in the early 1960s, and the one that costs an eye-watering $769. However, as many of you are aware, there are other watches that look almost identical to this one, namely the Red Star and the Sugess, that have very possibly the same beautiful column wheel chronograph movement and that cost 5 times less. So how does this watch justify such a huge price gap? And most importantly, are you ready to pay for it? Well, let's find out in this video. And although there are tons of reviews of the non-official models, some made by yours truly, you would be surprised of how few reviews of these official model there actually are. So I hope this review answers some of your questions, and if you still have more, let's discuss in the comment section. But for now, let's review the beautiful official Sea-Gull 1963. To be transparent, this watch was provided by Sea-Gull, and they have provided me with a 12% off code for you, my viewers, which brings the price from $789 to $694. That's still quite high, but at least it softens the pain somehow if you are interested in this watch. So I'll leave the link to this watch and the 12% off coupon, and big thanks to Sea-Gull for providing this watch. For starters, let's really quickly sum up the year-long debate about the originality of these 1963 watches. This argument has been going on for what seems like ages now. Famously, Jody's well-researched video from a few years back does a deep analysis in which he concludes that, first of all, the non-official versions are not made by the Tianjin Watch Factory, second, the official versions all have closed casebacks, and third, the movements in these non-official versions are all official Sea-Gull ST 1901 movements made by the Tianjin Watch Factory. But that video is 5 years old now and definitely needs some updating, because some official models, including the one that I have here, have now a transparent caseback, thanks to which we can now see the movement behind this watch, which shows some differences when compared to the non-official versions. To further ignite this point, the official Sea-Gull site claims that this is the original movement and specifically relegates the non-official versions as using fake movements. So sadly, with these new developments, the controversy lingers on. In order to pierce it, we will have to compare these two watches side by side. And I'll do that in part 2 of this video. Today, what I want to concentrate in is I want to give you a detailed review of this official version, and I want to avoid this video to be half an hour long. And let's start with what you first see when you receive the watch, the box. In Jody's video, the box was a pretty boring blue box that you receive with every middle-of-the-road Sea-Gull watch. But once again, things have changed, and in order to somehow justify the steep price increases, it must be that Swiss heritage in the movement, you have a beautiful big leatherette box here. Inside you have 2 straps, a beautiful black leather stitch strap in which the watch comes, and your typical green NATO strap. You also have a pretty high quality strap removal tool. I would have preferred that the leather strap have quick release, but that's what you get. Going to the watch itself, things feel very familiar here. Only the dial color seems a little bit paler here when compared to the Red Star 1963. But the case dimensions seem identical. I measure it at 37.3 millimeters in diameter, 14.8 in height, because of that very highly domed sapphire crystal, 14.6 in log-to-log and 18 millimeters in log width. Therefore, the watch wears very well on the wrist, even though you will definitely feel the height when you wear it on the NATO. The dial appears paler than in the Red Star, as we have said, but besides from that, apart from the numerals that appear a bit thinner, all the rest looks virtually identical, at least from afar. But appearances can be deceiving, and we will have to bring a loop to both dials, markers and hands in the comparison video. Where you will see a clear difference is first under the star at 12. The text now reads that the movement has 22 joules instead of 21. That's a new one. And at 6 you have 2 lines of text instead of 1, reading China in the first line and Tianjin Watch Factory in the second. We have mentioned the crystal. It's a very highly domed sapphire, much more akin to the highly domed acrylic from the Red Star, contrasting with the much flatter sapphire versions of the non-official versions. The case will once again be very familiar, if not identical, at first glance from your non-official versions with a null polished finishing. The pushers are also identical, but for the fact that there's no marking at all on the crown, contrary to the Red Star, which has, of course, a star. It's when you turn the watch that you see a very familiar sight with some marked differences. Contrary to the unmarked plates of the non-official watches, there are Chinese characters on the plates here that read Chinese Air Force and Tianjin Watch Factory. And there's even a little Star Trek logo from the original 1960s watch. Besides from that, once again from afar, the movement doesn't seem to have very many differences, even though the website claims that it's the original one and that the other ones are fake. It also claims that the level of finishing and refinement is much better here than with the movements in the non-official versions. At this point, it is very important to research further. It appears that at some point, even possibly now, the movements were made either by Sea-Gull or by a third party with present or previous licensing rights. All the forums and informations that I can find online, besides of course from the official Sea-Gull website, seem to point in that direction, although nothing is really certain at this time. If you believe you have some confirmed information, don't hesitate to leave a comment. What's clear is that there seems to be many different finishing levels of these movements, as I have witnessed myself on different versions of this watch. And in the comparison video, we will take a macro lens to compare both movements in detail. But for now, I can tell you that the performance of this unarguably original ST1901 is rather unremarkable, with plus 17 seconds per day on the flat position and slightly more on the other ones. So not a cost competitor, this one. So where do we stand with this $700 watch? Is it worth the asking price or not? If the non-official versions didn't exist, this would be, and still kind of is, an amazing deal. This is after all a historic watch with heritage, beauty and pedigree. And let me remind you that on the technical aspect, it is still a column wheel chronograph for $700. It is important to remember that the entry level price for such a movement on the Swiss side is from Longines at 5 times the price. But if you compare it with the Chinese options, namely the other 1963s, well, once again, it will depend on what you value. If you pursue undisputable originality, then the only way to go is the official version, especially now that a doubt has been cast over the originality of the movement of the non-official versions. If you value the design and the technical aspects of the watch, you may be more content with the non-official or fake versions. But in order to see what the true differences are, especially now that we have a clear view of the official movement, there is nothing more left than to measure these two head to head. And if you want to refresh your memory before that, you can check the review of the Red Star 1963 right here, and I'll be seeing you right away in this video.